you have any doubt. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So today we will see about phrase management. In phrase management, what is basically a phrase? A phrase is a standardized text. I think I have given this definition also. Yeah. What is a phrase? Phrase is a standardized text. For example, do not block the fire extinguisher. Do not use lift in case of emergency, etc., etc. Those are standard phrases. So in phrase management, first I'll tell you some of the things in phrase management. Where do we use phrases? Central management. This SAP component supports the central management and translation of text modules called phrases. So basically, you can create phrases in the phrase management. That is what they are saying. And where all can we use the phrases? You can use phrases to perform the following language independent activities. This also you write down. You can use phrases to perform the following language independent activities. So what activities you can perform? First one, record information about a specification. Record information about a specification, such as first aid measures. We have seen no when we went into the specification management.
Yes, sir.
I showed you. You can select more than one phrase, multiple selection. So those are the phrases actually. Okay. So you write first one, record information about a specification such as first aid measures. Second use is output text on EHS reports. So you can also use phrases to print some text on the output of EHS reports. It may be incident report, incident accident report, injury illness report, or any other SOP. On all those reports, if you want to print any data or if you want to print any text, then there also you can use phrases. And third is output dangerous goods text on dangerous goods document. This is the third option. Output dangerous goods text on dangerous goods documents.
What's a dangerous good text? Output dangerous goods on
Output dangerous goods text on dangerous goods documents. So we will see under dangerous goods management when we go there we will study about the dangerous goods. So if you want to generate any dangerous goods documents, even on those documents you can print the phrases. So these are the three main applications of phrase. In specifications, we can use on the output of EHS reports and on the output of dangerous goods documents. Okay. So phrase actually is made up of three things. First, you come across phrase library. Second is a phrase group. Third is a phrase set. And then you have phrases. Okay. So first comes your phrase library. So let us go and see each one of them. How to create a phrase library, where is this library located, and where do we create the phrase groups. Let us see each one of them. We will create each data object and then we will see how the phrases are created actually. Okay, so first let us go to phrase library using SPRO. Let me start the server. Okay. I'm using your server, Tushar.
Yeah, sir. You have the details, sir?
Yeah, I have written here in the notepad.
Okay, sir.
Okay, 122, 175, 7. So, 103. Okay, let us go to the phrase library first by using SPRO. Then go to SAP reference IMG. Click on SAP reference IMG. Then go to EHS. Under EHS, go to basic data and tools. Under basic data and tools, you will find phrase management. Then you can go to specify phrase libraries and phrase groups. You can click on this so that you will go directly into the phrase library. So in this screen, you will find a list of phrase libraries which are provided here. Some of these libraries are given as standard by the SAP, and some of them are created by the students. For example, the CED customer phrase library, EHS customer phrase library, EHS sample labels, IUCLID phrase library. All these are standard libraries. They are given by SAP. And there are also, you can create your own library. For example, here you can see ZID. Maybe this is created by some user, or ZSPRC. Again, this is also maybe created by the user. So these are the phrase libraries which are available. Again, what is a phrase library? Phrase library is a library which contains all the phrases which you want to use. For example, if you want to create all the phrases related to some chemical safety, what you can do here, you can create a phrase library with the name related to chemical safety, and under that library you can create a lot of phrases which are related to the chemical safety. So first will be the library. Within the library you have to create the phrase group, and then again you have to use the transaction code, then create phrase sets and phrases. Let us first go by creating the phrase library. Again, the way to create a phrase library is go to new entries, click on new entry, and you will find this new screen will come. Here give some name for your phrase library, like for example ZChem, or you cannot use more than a few letters. So let us keep to ZChem, chemical safety library. Okay, something like this. I will give the description to my phrase library. If you want to add a note also, you can add it, not an issue. Like sample phrase library, something I will add like this. Then come below distributor, you can give some name like SAP user you can give, or your user ID also you can mention. That is the person or a user who is creating this library. He is known as a distributor. Publication date is the date on which you are creating the library. So if it is today, you can select 29th. Version number, if you want to give to your library, you can give the version number. So since we are creating for the first time, I will be giving this one as the version number. Next, phrase check return. You no need to add anything, keep it blank. No need of any data here. Go below to object name, and here you should select ESN underscore phrase ID, PHR ID. This is the object name. Because we are creating phrase library, you should give the object name as ESN underscore phrase ID. And Again, internal number range, external number range, like how we created for specification type. Select 0i and 0e for internal and external number range. Okay, after entering these details, now you can click save and continue, so that your library will be created. We created library. If you want to see, just go back, and in the list you can see that your library is created. Okay, this is your library. Now, after creating the library, next step is we have to create the phrase groups. How will you create the phrase groups? Select this library, double click on phrase group. So how you select? You have to click on this button last here on the edge. You click, then the entire row will be selected. Double click on phrase group. Okay, so there are no entries. Currently, there are no phrase groups. So go to new entries. Now enter the name for the phrase groups. It can be anything. Like for example, chemical storage. Okay. I'll use the same name. Chem underscore store. This is, I want to create some phrases related to the chemical storage safety. So that is my intention. So what I'm doing, I'm giving the phrase group name as chemical underscore store. Under description, you can enter it completely. Chemical safety instructions or chemical safety phrase group. Something you can write like this. Okay, this is the description of my phrase group. You can create as many phrase groups as you want. Not necessary that it should be only one. You can create more than one also. So this is one of them I created. Save. Okay. Now go back and create one more. Again, go to new entries. Chemical handling. Chemical handling procedure. Okay. This is my second phrase group. Then again, save your phrase group and note down whatever you create. Please note down, because you don't want to make some mistake in this. What did I create? My phrase library. My phrase library is ZChem. And next, I created two phrase groups. One is chem underscore store. Another is chem underscore and. These two phrase group I created. Next, you can go back and see that under this library there are two phrase groups which are created. So this completes our two steps. We created a phrase library, and under that phrase library we created a two phrase groups. This completes our first and second step. Now let us go and create. Next is what we have to create: phrase sets. Okay, so corresponding to the phrase group, you should create a phrase set. So what is the transaction code? You can write down the transaction code to create a phrase set is CG1B. CG1B. And let us decide here. We'll create Z store and Z chem underscore hand. So what I'm doing for my phrase sets, I'm adding Z. For my phrase group, it is just chem underscore and chem underscore hand. But for phrase set, it is zchem store and zchem hand. Fine. So let us create them. Open new screen. and go to CG1B. I told you it is CG1B. So this is where you can create the phrase set. So this is your initial screen. Now, initial screen is used to, if you want to search any already existing phrase set, then you can use this initial screen. If you know the name of the phrase set, you can select that phrase set and you can create, or you can display. But if you want to create a new phrase set, that is also possible. You have to go and click this first button, create button, then you can create a new phrase set. This is if you just want to display any already existing phrase set, then you can come here. Like this, if you select and press enter, it will show when was this phrase set created. Okay, which user created this phrase set. Those details it will show you. Okay, so see, under this phrase set, they have created some phrases also, like render first help, give somebody, accident announce, inform daughter, wash skin and eyes with much water, bring hurt into stable side position, and no special first aid assistance measures, etc. etc. These are some of the phrases I think SAP itself has created these phrases. Okay, and they have put it under this phrase set. So like this, we also have to create the phrases. First, we will create the phrase set. Under that phrase set, there will be phrases. So let us go and create a phrase set. Okay, now just remove this and click on create button. Okay, what name did we select for phrase set? It is zcam underscore store underscore store, and note you can add chemical storage phrase set, something like this, and phrase set name. Hmm. Chemical storage. Okay, so enter these details, phrase set, then the note if you want to add, language, and phrase set name. After entering these details, next what you can do is go to this. You can see the first button is there, phrase set name. You can click on that, and if you want to maintain the description of this phrase set in different languages, it can be maintained here. Like in German language or in French language, if you want to maintain the description of the phrase set, it is possible to maintain. Okay, next is phrases. Still we have not yet created the phrases, so this will be blank. So leave it as it is, no need to enter anything else. Now you can save this phrase set, save the phrase set, again come back. Now let us create one more phrase set, and I call that as zchem underscore handling, zchem hand. Note I will add as chemical handling procedure, and phrase set name chemical handling. Okay, like this I will create this phrase set, second phrase set. Now click on phrase on this phrase set. Maintain the description in other languages if you want. Then you can save again. So what we did here, we created two phrase sets. One is zchem store and another is zchem handling. Okay, so we created two phrase sets. What is the next step? Final step is now you should create the phrases. So how to create the phrases? Transaction code is CG12. Write down this transaction code CG12. So /n eg12. Okay, you will come here and you can find that it is edit phrase. So phrases are created here. In the initial screen, if you want to display any phrases, you can display the phrase. Or if you want to see how many phrases are there in any particular phrase group, you can do that. For example, if I want to see under first aid measures, how many phrases are available, what I will do, under this customer phrase library, I have selected a phrase group. Now if I enter, it will show me whatever the phrases are maintained here under this phrase group 4.0. It is showing that there are 329 phrases that are available under this phrase group. If you say continue, then it will show all those phrases. See, these phrases are related to first aid measures. There are 349 something odd phrases are created. Okay, all these phrases are related to first aid. But our intention is we want to create our own phrases. So now what we need to do, click on this create button. Okay, click on the create button. Then a new screen will come known as create phrase header. Here what you should do, you should select your library. See again, here it is very important. You should see which is the current library. It is showing as customer phrase library. But if you remember, we created our own phrase library called ZChem. So that library you should open now. I will go here, select ZChem as the library. Now enter the name of the phrases. Phrase can be like ZChem underscore store 01, and phrase group I will select as chemical storage, second one. Next, I will come directly to phrase text and I will mention one of the instructions for storing of chemicals. Keep chemicals away from the ignition source. Okay, this is my first phrase. Next, what you need to do, go to the item, click on item. Anyways, whatever phrase you have added, no, that is coming in English language. So here, if you want to maintain the phrase text in other languages, you can maintain, no problem. Like this is in English. If you want to add it in German or in French or Spanish, you can add it here. If you don't want, you can keep it as it is in English. Then go to phrase set. Click on phrase set. But when you are clicking, what is happening? See here. Below you can see there is a message. This function can only be used for phrases in the active library. Why it is showing like this? I have selected my phrase library only, no, ZChem, and this is also my own phrase. Phrase group is also mine. Why it is showing this function can only be used for phrases in the active library? Why it is showing like this? And how do I rectify this? See, until and unless I don't assign phrase sets, my phrase will not be complete. My phrase will not be complete. If you want to complete this activity, you have to go to phrase set and you have to assign your phrase set name there. Only then it will be connected. Okay, if you are getting this kind of error, what you need to do is go to your phrase library using SPRO. Like, if you remember, we came here. This is my phrase library. Now, which is active library in this? Can you tell me? There are so many, no, in this. Which is the active library?
CUST.
COST, yes. Customer Phrase Library. because the radio button under active library is active or selected for customer phrase library. So that is why, though I am trying to create a phrase under ZChem, it is not accepting or it is not allowing me to complete my activity, because currently the active library is customer phrase library. So what I need to do is select my ZChem as the active library and then save this option. Okay, saved. Now let us go and try again. Okay, this is my phrase text. Now I want to assign the phrase set. So if I click on phrase set, this time it will not show any error. I will come directly to the phrase set. Here what you need to do for this phrase zchem underscore store 01, you have to assign the phrase set, and that is, if you go here you will find the phrase set name is zchem underscore store. This is the name that you need to assign. So come back and under phrase set enter zchem underscore store. Okay, this is my phrase set. Okay, save again. I have created my first phrase zchem underscore store 01. So make a note, even those things you make a note. Zchem underscore store 01. Let us create three phrases. You can create as many as you want, but I am creating 3 phrases. Store 02 zchem underscore store 03. So 3 phrases we need to create. Now come back here, go back to the previous screen. See here, my phrase is created now. This is my phrase. I want to create second phrase. So instead of going to the first page, it is better you can use here only. There is a create button. Click on this create button and change the phrase now to 02. Make it 02. Phrase group you need to again select. That is a Z or chemical storage. This is my phrase group. Come to phrase text. Come to phrase text. Enter the second instruction for chemical storage. That can be display MSDS at the chemical storage area. Okay, this is my second instruction. After entering this, again go to item. It will be displayed in English language. Go to phrase set and enter the phrase set. That can store. Again save this second phrase. Okay, then go back. You can see now there are 2 phrases that are created. Key chemical survey from ignition source, display MSDS at the chemical storage area. 2 are created. I want to create one more instruction. So click on create button. Okay, make it zchem underscore store 03. Phrase group as chemical storage. Come to phrase text and under phrase text enter your third instruction. Provide firefighting system at chemical storage area. Okay, this is my third instruction. Again go to item, click on item button, then click on phrase set and enter the phrase set. Okay, and save again. So like this you can create as many phrases as you want. I have created 3 here. If you want you can create 10 or you can create 100. It is up to you. But this is the process to create the phrases. So I created 3 in chem storage. This is a phrase group. Under this phrase group I created 3 instructions. Now what I need to do, I need to create 3 more phrases under chemical handling. So what I do, again I go back, select my phrase library as Zchem. Okay, then click here on create button. Then give the name. What should we do? Zchem and 01 and 01. Phrase group, now I will select chemical handling. This is my phrase group. Come back to the phrase text and give instruction for your chemical handling. Use appropriate PPEs including goggles and gloves. Okay, this is my first instruction. Now go to item. In English, it is already appearing here, the description of the phrase. Go to phrase set. Under the phrase set, now select Zchem hand, chemical handling. Again, save this phrase. So what I'm doing now is I'm creating 3 more phrases for my second phrase group, which is Zchem underscore hand 01, Zchem underscore hand 02, and Zchem underscore hand 03. I will create 3 more. Come back here, save this, then go to the back button, click on create Zchem hand 02. Phrase group, I will select chemical handling. Then come to phrase text. Under phrase text, we should enter the second instruction for handling chemicals. And what will that be? Follow SOP while handling chemicals. Okay, this is my second phrase related to chemical handling. After entering this phrase, again go to item, then click on phrase set, and then select the phrase set related to your chemical handling. Select, save. Again go back. 2 phrases are created for chemical handling. Now we will create one more. Create Zchem underscore hand 03. Phrase group should be chemical hand. Come down to phrase text and enter third instruction. So what you can enter here under phrase text as a third instruction? Use
Permit.
Yeah. But do you need permit for using chemicals?
Yeah, sir. While handling from the store or any activities there,
Okay.
the
Okay. So what should I write here? How should
follow
I?
PTW process.
Permit to work process for handling chemicals, is it?
Yes, sir.
For handling chemicals. Fine. This is my third phrase. So what I'll do, go to item. It is already come here. Then go to phrase set and select the appropriate phrase set. Okay, after entering, again save this phrase. Though, see, I will tell you one thing. It is looking very simple. See, when you are when I am creating, and when you are looking at the step-by-step process, it looks very easy. But when you try to create, no, you will get confused. So it is not very easy also. Follow
Yeah.
how I am creating and then you should create. Yeah, it
Yes.
will look easy. When you're looking, it will be fine. But when you try to create, no, at that time you will get confused. Which step you should follow, what you should do, like that. Okay, so let us see all the phrases which we have created under Zkin. If I click on this hit list, it will show all the 6 phrases which we have created. Okay, so all these phrases are created. 3 are created under storage, 3 are created under handling. Okay, these are your phrases. Now, if you want to use these phrases in a specification, you can use it. That is entirely a different process where you have to follow. You can use these phrases in a specification if you want. Okay, so this is how you can create the phrases starting with phrase library. It is not necessary that you should create a new phrase library only, then you should create nothing like that. You can also use the existing phrase library. We saw customer phrase library was there, EHS customer phrase library was there. There were many libraries, so you can use any of them. Not only library, you can use the already existing phrase group. It is not mandatory that you should use a new phrase group only, nothing like that. You can use existing ones. But what you can do when you are creating the phrases, at that time you can create the phrases as per your requirement. Whatever you want to add as a phrase, you can add it. Here you can make the change. Remaining all the 3 other things you can follow. Whatever is already there, created once, you can use the same data. Okay. So any doubt in this creating phrases?
No, sir. It's
Any
good.
confusion? Any doubt? Sandesh, any doubt from your
No,
end?
no, sir, no.
It's fine.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. Then you will be able to create tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, fine. So this was the phrase management which I wanted to show you. There are 4 data objects in this. Try to create, follow, go back to the recording again, look at the recording and try to create. Okay, now let us see some of the other basic theory part in basic data inputs. Next we will see, hmm, yeah, we will see report definition. What is report definition we will see. Then we will see about the document types. Then we will see about mm, label. Next we will see WWI, that is Windows Word Processor Integration. You know something about this, Sandesh? WWI?
No, I don't know exactly, but
Hmm.
uh, it's a word file which get converted. It's like MSDS pooling.
Ah, yes. So your report template are there, no? Like for example, MSDS, you will first create a template. Then what will happen when you generate the MSDS, the data will be pulled from the respective tables and it will be filled in the format in the report template. Okay, the designing of that report template, if you want to edit the report template, all that is done in this WWI. So let us say if you want to prepare a new report template. Okay, so the designing of that report template is done under WWI. Okay, we'll see a little bit about this and then we will see master data matchup function. Master data matchup. Okay, so let us start with a report definition. What is the meaning of report definition and how many types of documents are there? All that we are going to see in this. So write down under report definition. Report definition. This process enables you to output data. This process enables you to output data from the specification database and other SAP components and graphic symbols on reports So report definition means a report generation. It is a process which allows you to output the data onto the report template. The data can be from either the specification management or it can be from other recipe component. Other recipe components means maybe dangerous goods management, or maybe from the product safety, or maybe from the hazardous substance management, or from the incident accident management. It can be from other recipe components also. What you can do, you can output the data onto the reports, and this process is known as report definition. Now again, there are two types of reports. Since we are speaking about reports, there are two types of reports. I'll just write it here under report definition. First type of reports is known as reports with reference to a specification. Okay, reports with reference to a specification. Second type of reports is reports without reference to a specification. Okay, these are the two types of reports we have. One is reports with reference to a specification, another reports without reference to a specification. There is also a third type. Okay, I will tell you even that. There is also a third type of report. Reports with or without reference to a specification. So what do you understand by this? Okay, tell me, what do you understand by reports with reference to a specification?
The the reports which are
Hmm.
aligned to the specification. Maybe it was
Aligned.
pulled
Okay.
against the real sub.
Okay. Not only real sub. See, there are
Yes,
listed
yes.
subs also, no? Listed sub is
Ha.
there or pure sub is there. Anything related to specification. So what happens in these kind of reports when you generate, the data will be actually pulled from the specification and that will be outputted onto the report. It will pull the data from specification and it will put it into the report. That is why we call such reports as reports with reference to a specification. Okay, that is one definition. But here you need to write as they have given in SAP. So reports with the reference to a specification, what they are saying here in the standard SAP definition, for reports, the generation variant links the document template to the usage. So what happens here, reports with reference to specification means the report template is there, no report template. That report template will be connected to a specification. Okay, so the report template will be connected to the usage in a specification. So that is why when we tried to generate a report in our from our specification, what happened is we had to select a generation variant. Okay, so either you can say that the data will be pulled from the specification in this report, or you can even say that For these reports, the generation variant links the document template to the usage. Usage means usage comes under specification. Okay, I'll show you. Let me show you that. Okay, if you go to this product identifier and if you go to physical chemical properties, here color is there, double click. See, one is your data color. It is showing as translucent color, fine, whatever it is. So this is your characteristic. But there is one more thing related to this value assignment type, and that is known as usage. Okay, if you go to specification workbench and open one of the specification, like I was showing you this product identification. If you go to physical chemical properties, there is a data that which they have mentioned or maintained under color, and that data is this translucent. Okay, so now if you generate a report, what will happen? Let's say you want to generate a MSDS report. Your generation variant is there. No, what it will do? It will connect your report template with the usage. So what is usage? Again, if you go to usage, you will find that the rating is public and region is region world. Validity area is region world. So if you have a usage like this, region world, then anybody can generate a report. It is not only limited to any particular country or only to a particular group of people. When you have public and when you have region world, it means anybody can generate a MSDS out of this data. Okay, so what will happen? The generation variant which I told you, no, it will compare the usage of your specification, particularly this for this value assignment type. It will compare this usage with the report template usage. It will compare both. So since we have the value assignment type usage as public and region world, even if your report template is having some other usage, it doesn't matter. It will allow this data to be printed onto the report. I will tell you this in detail. When we go to generation variant, at that time, I will tell you deeply. This is only because it will be little confusing. So I don't want to confuse you right now. You can keep this as pending. When we go to generation variant, there I will tell you exactly what happens in usage, how it is connected with your report template. But just understand that in reports with reference to specification, what happens, your generation variant will link this usage of the specification with the document template, that is in reference to specification. Next type of reports I told you, there are other second type of reports without reference to a specification. So what happens here, when you generate these reports, the data from specification is not required. Okay, the data from specification is not required. You can generate such reports also. I will ask for the examples, but for now just understand that the reports without reference to specification means when we are generating these reports, the data from specification is not required. Okay, so here again they are saying in the definition, if no specification symbols are included in the layout of a document template, the report exists immediately after the generation variant was assigned to the document template. So what they are saying, if you have not included any data from a specification, or we call that as a specification symbol. So in the report template, if there is no specification data mentioned or included, then what happens? The report will be immediately available as soon as you generate, because it will not go to the specification to pull the data. So reports without reference to specification in very simple terms means in this type of reports, the data is not taken from the specification. You don't need this data actually. See, all this data what is available here. This data is not required for those kind of reports. This data is not required for generating the reports. And also I told you there are third type of reports where sometimes you need the data from the specification and sometimes you don't need the data from the specification. So what are the examples? I will tell you with the example so that you will understand better. So for the first type, reports with reference to a specification. What example can you give from the EHS reports that you know? There are various EHS reports. Can you give me one example for this type of report? Where you need the data from the specification. So what kind of reports need data from specification? Can you give me one example for a report? Any EHS report which does not need specification data. Oh, sorry, which requires specification data. Which report is that?
Hazardous chemical transportation.
Okay, that may be fine. Any other simple report? That is correct. Okay, I accept. That is correct because hazardous chemical transportation means you need the details of the chemical. Fine. So that case you need data from the specification. I
Yes.
completely agree with you. Hazardous chemical transport, right?
Yeah.
Transport report or document, whatever. Fine. Any other simple example?
SDS,
Ah,
MSDS.
yes. That is a simple example.
Yes.
MSDS.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
when I am generating a MSDS report from this, definitely I need the specification data. Otherwise, how can I generate? It is not possible.
Correct, sir.
Yeah. So the second example, yes, you can say MSDS report. Fine. So this is reports with reference to a specification. Now let us go to the second category where you don't require the data from specification. Any such EHS report?
Maybe firefighting instruction.
Firefighting instruction, but that is not a report, no, Sandesh.
Yes, yes.
Only when the only the data or the available list of chemical is required, in that specification is not required like that. Only the list is required as a report.
Hmm.
In that specification is not required. Like,
But I need that. See, there should be a name for that report, and it should be a EHS report. Okay, what you are telling is correct. Name of the chemicals without any additional data related to
yeah.
the chemicals. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
you can generate such a report. But is that
Yes.
a standard report in EHS?
Standard naming.
Hmm. How many reports are there in EHS? There are many reports, no, belonging to different components.
Yes, sir.
Out of that, you can give me any report name.
Mm,
Incident or accident report, maybe.
Very good. Yes, incident or accident report, or you can even say injury or illness report. Both are fine. I
yes.
will write here example as incident or accident report. So we don't use any specification data here. Do we need any specification data in this
No,
incident
no,
accident
we
report?
don't.
Not required.
It is not required because any incident report will contain only the details of the accident, where it happened, when it happened, on which date, time, location, who is the person who involved in this accident, what is the root cause of that accident, etc., etc. But
Hmm.
apart from that, it will not need any specification data at all. It is not required. So one example for without reference to a specification, you can say incident report. Similarly, you can also say investigation report. That is also don't require any. Most of the time, sometimes maybe yes. During the investigation, if it is related to chemical, yeah, maybe sometimes you need to understand what is the property of the chemical. Okay, but that is in the rarest of the cases, not in every kind of investigation report.
Okay.
That is why you can say even investigation report or audit report can also be an example. Okay, so these two examples are related to without reference to a specification. Now let us come to the third part. Reports with or without reference to a specification means sometimes you need the data from the specification and sometimes you don't need the data. It depends, circumstantial it is.
So
Hmm.
we consider HIRA, sir, HIRA, hazard identification risk assessment in that.
Yeah, yeah. You can say that, yes. Or I will simply call it as risk assessment. So if you are doing any risk assessment on a chemical, then yeah, at that time you need to refer to the specification details. Yes. And if you are doing a risk assessment on anything else, like maybe related to the
As
electrical
of
device,
as of
ah,
study, sir.
yes. So in such cases, you don't need any data from the specification. Only when you are doing a risk assessment on the basis of a specification, you need to refer to the data from the specification. But if it is related to any other activity or any other process, like for example, working at height. If you are performing a risk assessment related to working at height, do you need any specification data there for working at height?
No,
You
sir.
don't need. No, it is not required. Or even in confined space, if you want to work, you don't need any data from the specification. So risk
Correct.
assessment is one example for both. Sometimes you need, sometimes you don't need. Any other examples can you give?
SOPs.
Very good. SOP, standard operating procedure. So what happens in a standard operating procedure? It is a list of instructions which you need to follow. Now what happens again within SOP? You can prepare a SOP on how to use a chemical. Okay, you can prepare a SOP on that. Or you
Yes.
can also prepare a SOP on how to operate a mechanical device.
Correct, sir.
Okay, let's say there is a diesel generator. Now there will be a SOP prepared for a diesel generator, how to operate that. So if it is for diesel generator, you don't need any specification data. But the same SOP, if you are preparing on how to handle chemical or how to use the chemicals, then you need to refer to the specification. Yeah, that is correct. Any other example? Sandesh, are you able to understand this second SOP?
Yes, yes, I am able to.
Okay. Any other example?
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay, I will give an example then.
Yeah, sir. Please.
Okay. So another example what you can give is label. Okay, a label. Why I
Okay.
am giving this example is because see, when I say label, there are various kinds of labels. There are danger labels, there are address labels, there are warehouse labels, there are sample labels, waste labels, etc., etc. There are many types of labels actually. In every business process, you need label.
Means
So,
you meant to say
huh,
signages, sir? Signages.
not signages, the label. See, for example, if you purchase any medicine, on the bottle there will be a label, no? Or if you even purchase any electronic device, on that there
Yeah.
will be a label.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so sometimes on chemicals, there will be a signage. See, signage is also a label, but it does not contain any language. I mean, it doesn't contain letters. There will be just a symbol. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so a label can include a symbol or a signage, plus it should contain the data. Okay, one such label is danger label. Danger label means, let us say, if it is a poison or rat poison or something, it is a dangerous chemical. So what they do, they will display a label. On that label, they will clearly say, this is a poisonous substance. Keep away from the children. Keep away from from the people, or keep it in a cool and dry place. Something like that they will mention, and they will also say what is the danger in that product. It is poisonous substance. Like that they will mention. So that is a danger label. And if it is related to a chemical, again on that label you have to print the data from the specification. Okay, so in one example, if it is a danger label of a or a hazardous substance label or a waste label, you have to print the data from the specification. Now consider there is one more label, that is address label, which contains only the name and address of a customer. Okay, so even that is a label, but the difference is that it does not use any data from the specification. It contains only the address and the customer name. So that is why you can give an example for label as a label also for reports with or without reference to a specification. I know what you are thinking. I know you are thinking, how come label I am saying as a report? Okay, but as per SAP, label is also considered one form of a report. Why? Because a report means what? It contains some data, information. So even your label contains some data and information. So that is why label is also one type of a report as per the SAP. Okay, understood? So
Yes, sir. Noted.
these are the three types of reports we have in SAP. Next, let's move on to document types. Here also I'll just mention, see there are different types of documents. This is not exactly only relevant to EHS, it is also common to other modules also. I will tell what are the different document types. One is report templates. Report template, we designate it as SPV. Next is a report or reports. You designate it as SBR. Next is final reports. Final reports or SBE. We call it as SBE. And then you have cover and cover sheet templates. What is a cover sheet? Or DBB. What is a cover sheet?
Cover sheet is
Hmm.
it's a document which we use to cover uh, any
Front page.
hazardous substance.
Uh, Sorry. Sanjay, to complete.
It will be having some labels and also some information that will be
What
printed
information?
on
Hmm.
yeah, like agent or address of the manufacturer and
Hmm.
signal word, and also one label
Hmm.
that will be printed on a packaging material for the chemical.
No, see, listen. Cover sheet is not only with respect to the hazardous substances. Even if you write your
Yes.
resume or if you prepare your CV, For that also you can write a cover sheet.
Yes.
Means summary of that template.
Exactly. So what is the meaning of a cover sheet? See, I will give you one example. Let us say you do some accident investigation, okay, and that report is 80 pages long, okay, and you prepare that report and you give it to your management. Now, don't expect that they will go through all your 80 documents, 80 pages of the document. They don't have so much time. What they will do, they will first go to the cover sheet or the summary page. So cover sheet means it contains all the important details in a nutshell. What happened, what is the incident that occurred, date and time, what was the result of that accident, and as per your investigation, what is the root cause of that accident. So what I will do, I will prepare a summary sheet. Instead of people going through all the 80 pages, what they can do, first they will refer to the cover sheet, they will see what is it about, what is the report prepared about, and then they will go in detail. So cover sheet is a summary sheet, you can say. Okay, so we have in SAP, this is also one of the document types, cover sheet templates. Okay, cover sheet template is one thing. Next is cover sheet. And then you have inbound documents. Inbound documents means the documents which are sent from other systems, from other SAP systems to your SAP system. That is known as an inbound document. And then you have acknowledgement of receipt templates. Acknowledgement of receipt templates. EBV. And along with this also you can also include acknowledgement of receipt. Acknowledgements of receipt. See, wherever there is a template, you should remember template means it is a blank document without any real data. And along with the template, there will be one real document also. For example, see here. First, I have written report template. Below that, I have written reports. Similarly, cover sheet templates I have written. Below that, I have written cover sheet. So, what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between a report template and a report?
Template may be just a idea or a design what exactly needs to be.
Outline of a document, or you can even say blank document. It does not contain any
Right.
real-time data. Okay, it is just a format, or you can say format document. That is a template. But when we say report, it is the actual report with the data, with the latest data. So if you go to a bank and if you want to open a savings bank account, what they will do is they will give you a form to fill. Okay. When you take that form, you will find name will be there, address, telephone number, etc. All that it will be written. But the actual data will not be there. It will be just a format. So what you need to do, you have to take the template and you should write your name, address, and fill all the details. Only then, after you fill the data, it becomes a report. Before you fill the data, it is just a template, or it is just a design, or it is just a format. So like that, it is not only for reports, even for your cover sheet, there will be just a template. And then from that template, you can generate a cover sheet. Similarly, acknowledgement of receipt means if you submit any report, okay, upon the submission of report, they will give you one acknowledgement saying that, yes, we have received so-and-so report from so-and-so person. That is known as acknowledgement of receipt. So in that also, there will be templates. and there will be real acknowledgement of received documents. Okay, one will be template, another will be a document. So this is the difference between a template and the real report. Okay, fine. Next, let us go ahead to labels. So what is a label according to you? What is a label?
Label, it's like a categorization.
Categorization?
Means
Label, I told you, like I gave you example, a danger label I told you, and I told you address label. Okay, it contains some data. Fine. So what will be the definition if you have to explicitly state the meaning of a label, what it can be? Okay, you can take down this definition. There is a definition for label. Okay, a label on which data, a label on which data in the SAP EHS component a label on which data in the SAP EHS component and other SAP components can be printed. And other SAP components can be printed. So what is basically a label? Label is also a type of report on which you can print the data. Okay, but there is some difference between a label and other types of reports. What is the difference? A label can be in any shape and size, whereas your the reports will be standard A4 size. You take any report, for example, incident report, MSDS or anything, it will be in a standard size. That is A4 size. On A4 size paper, they are going to print the report. But label is not like that. Though it belongs to the report category, a label can be in any size and it can be in any shape. And also color also, it can have any color. Second difference is it contains multilingual capacity, or the information printed on a label will be available in multiple languages, at least in 2 languages it will be there. So you can see some electronic products, if you will find Chinese will also be written, English will be written, or if you have purchased any product from Europe, you will find in German, Italian, French along with English. So a label basically can come in different shapes and sizes. Secondly, it will contain more than one language. It has a multilingual capacity. Okay, these are the two differences which makes a label different from a report. Next, coming to WWI, you can write down full form, Windows Word Processor Integration. WWI. The Windows Word Processor Integration program, or before that you write it in bracket. The Windows Word Processor Integration in bracket WWI program is an enhancement of Microsoft Word. Is an enhancement of Microsoft Word that is called an enhancement of Microsoft Word that is called from the SAP system from the SAP system to edit a document template. To edit a document template. Okay, so what happens here is in WWI, if you want to edit any report template, you can go into the WWI and you can edit. Or even if you want to create a new document template, you can design it in the WWI. So it is a form of Microsoft software. It is a software that is designed by Microsoft Corporation for to be used in a SAP software. Because SAP don't have any document creating softwares. They don't have. So what they do, they have collaborated with Microsoft and they are using a product made by the Microsoft Corporation. And that software is known as WWI, which is used to design document templates or to edit document templates. Again, you can write down in the following sentence. WWI allows you to create language independent document templates. WWI allows you to create language independent document templates using symbols. WWI allows you to create language independent document templates using symbols. We will study more in detail about WWI in product safety. So here you just try to understand the basic concepts. That is more than enough. Next is master data matchup. Master data matchup. In this also you write down the following functions are available in master data matchup. So to use master data matchup, there is a transaction code called CGCZ. By using this transaction code, you can run master data matchup. And why do we use master data matchup? There are various functions which are available in this. First is to match up value assignment types and characteristics. Match up value assignment types and characteristics. Master data matchup. I'm saying about master data matchup. The following functions are available in master data matchup. So what functions are available? First one, match up value assignment types and characteristics. This is the first function. Match up value assignment types and characteristics. Second is activate phrase assignment to characteristics. Activate phrase assignment to characteristics. Third function, activate phrase assignment to fields. Activate phrase assignment to fields. Next, generate symbols. Next use of master data matchup is you can generate symbols. So what is the meaning of symbols? I told you, by using WWI you can design the report template. So in the report template, when you are designing, if you want to include any data from specification, then you have to add a symbol. Okay, that symbol will be replaced by the actual data from the specification. So such symbols, if you want to generate, then you have to use master data matchup. Generate symbols. Next, regenerate symbol descriptions. Regenerate symbol descriptions. And last one, match up symbols and phrase related characteristics. Match up symbols and phrase related characteristics. These are some of the important functions which are available in master data matchup. Okay, so this is the theory part we have in our basic data and tools. We saw about the specification management, phrase management also we did today. Please try to create the phrases as I described to you. And also stop here for today. This is your basic data and tools what we have completed up to now. But main thing is you have to create a specification. Sandesh, you have done, so no problem. You can practice one more time. You can create one more time and also create the phrases. Okay, these are the two important things: phrase management and specification management. These are the two important things in basic data entry. Okay, I will share the notes. Go through the notes. If you have any doubts, do let me know. I will clarify your doubts.